What do you think when you hear the words Latino or Hispanic? What do you picture in your mind? A guy seated under a cactus with a mustache and a big hat? Well, that's not really the only kind of Latinos you will find, or Hispanics, because this is a rich culture with a lot of diversity. I want to share with you the roots, the origins of the Latino world, the Latino culture, and Hispanics, to know the difference even between Hispanics and Latinos. So let's start with Latino. Well, first Latinos were the people from Lazio. Lazio is a region of Italy. It has nothing to do with Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, or whatever, another Latin American country. No, Latinos were from Italy. All the towns, people from the towns close to Rome and the region of Lazio. From Lazio, they were called Latinos. Their language was based on Latin. And because of the Roman Empire conquering, most of Europe, the northern part of Africa, the Middle East, they expanded the Latino culture to all these countries. Many of the languages of these countries come from the Latin roots. So that's why they're called Latinos. You can see languages from the Latin like Spanish, Portuguese, French, Romanian, Asturian, and many languages come from the Latin. The word Latin from, the Italian, obviously, because it was the base, the roots of Latin. Well, and where does Latin America comes from? Well, Spaniards and Portuguese came to what is now called America to conquer some land. And they established their countries from Mexico, what is now Mexico, all the way down to Patagonia. That's where Argentina and Chile got together in the South Pole. Well, all those countries are Latin America. America, is the continent when we live. We are used to hear America and think about the United States, but the United States of America are part of the American continent that is divided in three main regions: North America, Central America, and South America. North America has only one Latin American country, Mexico, because it was populated by Spaniards. Remember, Spaniards and Portuguese were Latins. And British people who were the pioneers of the United States of America, they are not Latins. They don't come from those roots. Not their language. They were not conquered by the Roman Empire. Okay, so Latin America is, in North America, just Mexico. Central America and South America. That's the complete definition of Latin America, from Mexico to Chile and Argentina, including the Caribbean islands, like Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, or Haiti, Cuba. Anyway, at Central America, we have the Caribbean islands and also Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama. Then South America, from Colombia all the way down to Argentina and Chile, including Brazil, there is a Portuguese-speaking country. Well, when we say Latino America, we are talking about really different cultures. There is a great diversity of traditions, festivities, and cultures, because we, Latin Americans, in my case a Mexican, are the fruit, the result of the mix that it was made with Spaniards, some places Portuguese, but mostly Spaniards, with the native tribes of the regions they were landing. So in my case, I come from a specific native tribe of what is called Mexico now, and Spaniards. But listen to this. In Latin America, there are at least 522 different native tribes. 522 at least. Mixed with Spaniards and Portuguese. So there is a great diversity all along Latin America. Some people think when they say Latinos, oh, Mexico, tamales, Cinco de Mayo, and that is just part of Mexico. Even in Mexico, we have different cultures, different architectures. I like to say that we have 3 different countries talking about culture in Mexico. Now, if you think in Central America, many tribes. A lot of people think that we are just the mix of Spaniards and Aztecs and Mayans, but there are 522 different tribes. Most of them, or the country with the more variety of native tribes, is Brazil, and they don't speak Spanish. Well, where do Hispanics come from now that we know what Latin American people means? Well, Hispanics also come from Europe. When the Roman Empire conquered the Iberic Peninsula, Portuguese, and Spaniards, Spain, they called that place Hispania. That means the land of the many rabbits, for obvious reasons. Well, so Hispanics were only Portuguese and people from Spain. But then they start talking about Hispanics just for the countries with Spanish as an official language. So in Latin America, most of the countries are Hispanics because we speak Spanish, but there are some that are not. But if you live in the United States, when people refer to Latinos or Hispanics, they never think about Europe. And being practical, in the States, Latinos is the same as Latin Americans. Okay? So Hispanics also, but at the bottom, what I really want to share with you is that there is a huge diversity in Latin America. And when people from Latin America come to live in the United States, we need to think that we can tag them with the same culture. That make us have relationship problems. We think that they are all Mexicans, and remember, we Mexicans are really different from region to region. So next time you hear someone talking about Latinos or Hispanic, you can think and even tell her or tell him what nation of Latino America you're talking about, because now you know that there are really different cultures, even languages, diversity, and different ways of life. I hope this can help you to start thinking different about the Latino and Hispanic culture. In some other video, I will show you different cultures, traditions of the different regions of Latin America.